I am what they fear. Dr. Knockout standing, truth gets revealed.
Now we can talk about Huckabee's comment about the Middle East, where he said it's okay if is not real takes over the Middle East. So, and you wonder why we have problems in the Middle East, right? All right, so we're going to do this like this and put this over here. Yep. All right, guys, this is the comment. Here you go.
You've appealed to Genesis. Genesis 15 says it's Abram, it's pre-Abraham, it's Abram, receives from God the news that his descendants will inherit the land. And you tell me as the theologian if I'm getting this wrong, but from the Euphrates to the Nile. And that would include like basically the entire Middle East.
Christian Zionism. I want to go back because that's where we started.
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
You've appealed.
You heard that, guys? He said it. We're not making shit up. He said that shit. It's okay if they take it all. Let's see what's up.
Sorry, I didn't hear it. I was waiting for Mo to answer.
Mo to answer what?
Why his fingers are curved.
Who's Mo?
Momo, come on. He's here every night. More than I am.
Oh, Momo. Okay, I was like, because he caught me off guard. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm not reading the comments. That's why. I wasn't reading the comments. That's why I'm like, well, who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about Momo.
Yeah. So no, we all heard him say that. We all heard Trump say that he put Giuliani.
Oh yeah, I found that video too as well, guys. For the one for Giuliani, yeah, we're just gonna play that real quick, and then we're gonna go back to Huckabee just to show people that, you know, you guys are full of shit when you wanna. Let me see if no, not this one. I think it's
Check the picture I sent you on Discord.
Topic.
Is that?
Yeah, hold on.
Yazan?
Who's Yazan? Oh,
Never
here.
mind.
Yeah, here, guys. This is the video of him. Here. When I told you guys they assigned Giuliani, you know, everybody's like, "Oh no, you guys are just hating and whatnot." No, they assigned him. I'm not hating on anyone. That's the truth. If the truth hurts you, that's a you problem, not my problem.
Topic, and so I don't want to spend a lot of time, but all I can say is that the president of Syria, who I essentially put there, is doing a phenomenal job. He's a rough guy. He's not a choir boy. A choir boy couldn't do it. But Syria is coming together, really coming together well. And thus far, he's been very good to the Kurds. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to this again, guys. Did the Bella drop?
Topic, and so I don't want to spend a lot of time, but all I can say is that the president of Syria, who I essentially put there, is doing a phenomenal job. He's a rough guy. He's not a choir boy. A choir boy couldn't do it. But Syria is coming together, really coming together well. And thus far, he's been very good to the Kurds. Yeah.
You guys heard it. So when we say they assigned him, you know, everybody's making it seem like, no, y'all didn't vote him in. They assigned him in. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm like, they're in full control of Syria, but nobody wants to believe that they're in full control of Syria because of emotional problems. I guess people got emotional problems and shit, but that's not my problem. We're always going to say the truth whether people like it or not. I'm not I don't support Assad. I don't like Assad. I actually don't like any Arab leader, to be honest with y'all, or any Muslim leader. You know, I feel like they're all puppets, you know, before you say anything. I don't. But the truth hurts, and that is the truth. That is the truth, y'all. Giuliani. Giuliani is a puppet. That's it. He's controlling Syria right now and giving way for the Israelis to expand their buffer zones, whether y'all agree or not. And they're going to use the Syrians to invade Lebanon. That's what's going to happen. That's why I see a lot of people coming in here attacking the Lebanese on Hezbollah and whatnot, because they're looking for an excuse. That's the narrative that they're the agenda that they are being fed is that Hezbollah did everything 1, 2, 3 to you, and now we need to invade them because payback is a bitch, and that's what they're doing, But I mean, did you guys forget that your leader is a ISIS ex-ISIS member that was graping Kurds and beheading people and raping women and children and whatnot, and all of a sudden he's a good guy now? Like, no, you guys are full of shit, to be honest with you.
We're in trouble, honestly. I mean, it's one thing for a leader to be that way, but for the population to be rooting for it and all for it and everything, and then get this, you know what's going to happen afterwards?
What?
After they finish with him, after he executes their agenda, right? Because he's going to have to do it. This is what Is Not Real does. They wait, they supervise, they ensure you do it. If you don't do it, they will execute you and do it themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But once he does it, guess what's going to happen? He's going to turn on the people.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. We try to tell people what's really going on, but nobody wants to listen.
And then when they cry, it's going to be all on them.
Exactly. And people don't want to listen. And as soon as you talk to them and you tell them, like, what's really going on and what's the agenda, they'll attack you by saying, "Oh, you're Assadist. You support Assad." No, I don't. Fuck Assad. Who gives a fuck about Assad? We all know he's a war criminal. He's a Alawi, whatever you guys call him. He really destroyed the Syrians. We know what they've been through under the Assad regime. But that doesn't change the fact that you have a leader that was an ex-ISIS member. So what's مش فاهم يعني what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Hezbollah did 1, 2, 3 to the Syrians. Okay, you still have an ISIS leader as a president of Syria that is assigned, by the West. So, okay, what do you want us to do? You want us to say W. Jelani for allowing Israel to expand their buffer zones? W. Jelani for probably recruiting the Syrians to invade Lebanon, or convincing them to invade Lebanon because they feel some type of way. This is why like I don't take these youngsters seriously, man. On Judd, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, that's one. Two, that guy Adam that everyone was calling Yazan?
Yeah, what happened to him?
So I swiped into his live after you closed.
Okay.
Right? And this is the hope of the future. This is what we have, to look forward to. So he says, "Oh, Bella, I cooked you."
He cooked you?
Yeah, he cooked me.
How?
Well, regardless of how or not, we cook Zios. We discuss amongst each other. But the mentality that he's so happy with a Lebanese flag beside his name, pretending to be Lebanese, cooking another Lebanese, not a Zio, a Lebanese.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. They're just here to divide. And because I'm not gonna listen to someone who is like I said, I don't mind if they're a Jelani supporter, but you're not gonna call people an Assadist only because they don't support Jelani, that was an ex-ISIS member, while you're sitting here crying about the Hezbollah crimes that they committed in Syria. So you want us to call out the Hezbollah crimes that they committed in Syria and W. Jelani that was part of ISIS and assigned by the West. It just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest with you. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to become a puppet just so people can like me. Anjad. And that's what's up, y'all. So, all right, guys. So, let's get back to the Huckabee Middle East comment. Well, the good thing is we don't have any pro-Israelis tonight trolling us. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know. Like, what are they going to say about the comment? They have nothing to say about the comment. They're going to say God promised them the Middle East. First it was Palestine. Now it's the entirety of the Middle East. It's like, I don't know. It's like Genesis keeps updating every year.
Who needs IOs when we have each other?
Exactly.
Did you get what I meant though?
No.
And who needs Zionist when you have Palestinian, Lebanese, and Syrians cooking you for the sake of a theist?
Exactly. Yeah. They're attacking each other for. That's exactly what they're doing. All they do. We're so good. Like today, like I said, when we were swiping, I was swiping on the FYP. Everybody's just attacking each other and calling each other out because they say, oh, you said this about me. No, you said this. Oh my God, you called me. You said you're a better debater than I am. You said, no, get the fuck out of here. You guys are a bunch of fucking clowns. Like, who cares? What are you guys debating exactly? Like, I'm trying to understand. What are you guys debating?
Literally.
Well, like, what are you debating? Okay,
It's exactly what it's like.
You guys read a book? Oh my God, you guys are well versed on history? Okay, what the fuck does that have to do with what's going on today?
Actually, they're not even well versed on history. They've read Western media stuff. That's it.
Exactly. Let's see. Let's see.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
I'm good. I'm recovering from all the beef that I've heard today. I have the biggest headache because of it.
wait, what beef? You guys keep talking about beef. Is
Oh
it like
my
still
God.
the Julani crew?
No. So there was, whose live was it on? It was on, there
Imagine
was
being able to
Zubeda's
build.
live. Everyone was freaking out there. And then there was Queen of the South's live. People were freaking out there. And then Nez was freaking out on her panel at some point. And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, and today, I'm not joking. Every single live I went to, there was someone fighting each other in the community. Every single live. This is the only live that I came into, and there's no one screaming at each other.
No, yeah, I was scrolling and I did see Zubayda's live. I think she was like kind of mediating with the drama. The drama. It was just funny. Like she was mediating, trying to understand maybe what's really going on. And I think it was more of شو اسمه هذا Echo and
I'm not
Mama
surprised.
Rima and Shisma all having problems. And you said this, no, you said that, you said this. Oh my God, this is not cool. And it was just funny to me, to be honest with you. But I didn't. I went in, but then I left because I don't want to be part of the drama. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be part of it. But yeah, I think they were just discussing, arguing about Had Jamil Husseini and all that stuff. But
You know what I'd like?
right.
I'd like people to stop saying that in Ramadan the shaitan is locked up. Because clearly he's having a field day with everyone.
Yeah, he's having a little field trip these past first few days.
Yeah, I think it's a weak hadith though. But no, I personally I don't want to get involved because I really don't have a problem with the community like that. Like I don't have a problem. I just ignore problems.
Okay, Switzerland.
I had my crash out before Ramadan, so I'm good right now.
You know what's crazy? Last year it was the same thing. Around this time, everybody was crashing out on each other for some reason. Every time Ramadan hits, all this beef that everyone has accumulated throughout the whole entire year. They just explode on each other in Ramadan. It was the same thing last year. I remember this.
Exactly. All right, guys. So let's play the Huckabee, the Tucker Carlson and Huckabee's interview, and then we're gonna شو سوى هو شوكو US Navy.
لا اللي بيفقعني بلوك بفقعه بلوك.
Oh, he blocked you? Oh, okay. Yeah, and anybody blocks my mods, he will get blocked on my platform. So, no coffee, no cigs. No, I'm having coffee. Alhamdulillah, I don't smoke. I do have a vape, my vape though.
No, I
And they were
think he was
talking about
answering
before.
Princess B.
Oh.
Yeah, before iftar, I'm like, I know, I get it 100%. Everyone is all angry. Everyone just wants to drink and eat.
So we're gonna play, guys, the interview. You know, this is a live that I will be uploading on my YouTube. So let's try to comment on this without interrupting the interview, please. Which way? What the fuck? Okay, let's do this, y'all. Okay, and I'm live on YouTube too, guys, as well. Okay, let me put this here. Okay.
An interview we did with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, 2 days ago in Israel. In general, it's never worth talking about the backstory.
I'm just trying to, we don't need to talk about it. I just want the interview to start.
Thank you very much for having us, for inviting me. I was grateful to be invited.
Well, thank you.
I was grateful because I don't like all the name calling. I've engaged in some of it. I want to apologize for that. In general, I don't think people should be going immediately to motive, calling each other Nazis or anti-Semites. I said I hate the Christian Zionists. I lost control of myself. Of course I don't. I've apologized for that. I have problems with my anger, and so I just want to apologize to you since you are a Christian Zionist.
You and I have known each other for over 30 years.
Over 30 years. That is totally true.
Back when you were in Little Rock. So
yes.
You know,
the newspaper.
It's why I wanted us to have a conversation, talk to each other, and not about each other. And I appreciate very much your coming here to.
Of course, and I'm only staying a couple hours, unfortunately, because I kind of shoehorned this in. But I hope that I will be back soon, and I hope that I can come back soon because I actually like, despite what you may hear, I actually like the country. I've been here a lot, and there are a lot of things I love about it, and I want to talk to people in it for like a week.
Good.
And get a better sense of it. So I want to ask you, everyone I've talked to in preparation for this has said the same thing. Jonathan Pollard, I'm just going to throw the name to you and have you explain.
No, I'm glad you asked. You know,
of course.
Interestingly, there's been a lot of things about it. You're the first person who has asked me about it, which I find amazing. So I'm glad you did.
Really?
Yeah, the very first
Good.
person.
Well, it's better to hear it.
Sure. I met Jonathan Pollard 2 times. Once I was making a speech in Jerusalem. This has been a few years ago. His wife was still alive at the time, and he was there. And someone introduced me to him and his wife. I said hello to them. That was it. Hi. Nice to meet Esther, his wife, and that was it. I went and made my speech, and I left. Later, his wife passed away here in Israel. And I sent him a note and just said, I'm sorry to hear about your wife. I remember meeting her at the hotel, and sorry to hear it. He then asked, could he come and see me? He wanted to come and thank me for being kind to him. He came to the embassy. I think we met for maybe 30 minutes. We had a nice, pleasant visit. The funny thing was the New York Times reported that it was a secret meeting. Tucker, if you've ever been to the U.S. Embassy, you would know there's no such thing as a secret meeting at the U.S. Embassy.
Sure.
There are cameras everywhere. You walk through Marines, you walk through security, you walk through the front office, and there's a dozen or more people that are going to check you out when you come. And before you get there, you're going to have to give us your passport information. You're going to have to be vetted and screened and all of this stuff. So the idea that it was secret was ludicrous. The whole idea is, look, Jonathan Pollard did something that was terribly wrong. He sold secrets. He shouldn't have done it. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison and spent 30, actually was, I think he was sentenced to maybe more than 30 years, but he spent 30 years in prison. Most people convicted of something similar, which was one count, I believe, would have spent 2 to 4, but he spent 30. I don't have a problem with him spending 30 because I think what he did was despicable. I'm not defending anything about what he did. But even people like the former director of the CIA, a number of other senators on the Senate Foreign Relations of the Senate Intel Committee said that he should be allowed to leave and move to Israel if he wanted to. So it, to me, was not as big a deal that I had this basically courtesy meeting. He wanted to thank me for being nice to him when his wife died. That's pretty much the story.
You advocated for his release when you ran for, I remember it, in 2011, long before he had served 30 years. And I agree with you that there are a lot of people languishing in prison, in our country and in this country, and many countries, for longer periods than they deserve. And I think it's a Christian impulse to want to see them free. But this was the greatest traitor in modern American history who sold our battle plans against the Soviet Union, our main enemy in the Cold War, to the Israeli government, which according to our Reagan CIA director, Bill Casey, then gave them to the Soviet Union. So this was the most profound betrayal of the United States in my lifetime. Why advocate for that guy's release before he serves his full sentence?
Welcome to Wix Harmony. Take the speed of AI and pixel level control.
If that were the case in 2011, it would have been because I had a number of friends that suggested that he had more than served time and he didn't want to live in the U.S. anymore. He wanted to live in Israel. And but my association with him, again, I had never met him until I met him in Jerusalem at a hotel. That was the first time I had ever encountered him.
I'm friends with a million bad people, or I've talked to a million bad
I'm
people.
sitting here with you. Right. I mean, come on.
I mean, Jesus ain't with tax collectors. So trust me, do not judge people who are friends or know or enjoy the company of immoral people, because it's not an endorsement of their immoral behavior. Pollard is different, I think, once you become U.S. ambassador, the representative of the President of the United States in the United States of America in a foreign country, and then you invite not only the most damaging betrayer in our lifetimes, but also a guy who continues to advocate for betrayal. So he gave an interview, as I know you know, in 2021 to Israeli media, in which he said, I would encourage Jewish Americans with security clearances to spy for Mossad against their own country, the United States, because, and I'm pretty much quoting him, all Jews should have dual loyalty. That's not repentance. That's not someone who feels bad about what he did. That's someone who's encouraging American Jews to betray their country. That's pretty heavy, don't you think?
Oh, I do. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think, let's remember, it was President Trump who probably facilitated his departure. And I'm certainly supportive of President Trump. I think you are. And
Pollard's not. He called him a madman after your meeting.
That's why I say Pollard is not, for me, the real issue. It was the fact that he did something that was despicable. I'm not denying that. Of course he did. And he paid dearly for it, 30 years in prison, and he should have. That's what he should have done. There's no question about that.
But why meet with him in the U.S. Embassy? Your colleagues said they were shocked. They said...
Who were the colleagues that said they were shocked?
Quoted on Background in the New York Times. I think the meeting was in August. I mean, this could all be fake. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, the same New York Times said it was a secret meeting. And I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a secret meeting in the U.S. Embassy.
Do you see why the U.S. ambassador hosting a convicted betrayer of his own country who's encouraging Americans to continue to betray their country would seem shocking?
Well, I would say that it wasn't that you make it sound like I'm hosting a meeting. I simply met with him. I meet with people all the time.
Some can just walk in without a...
No, they have to have an appointment. Of course they do.
Oh, so it is hosting him then, I think.
Well, I don't know if it was hosting, but it was certainly, he was able to come to the U.S. Embassy to have a meeting at his request.
It is hosting, if he needs an appointment.
I did. And frankly, I don't regret it. I met with a lot of people over the course of the time I've been here, and we'll meet with a lot more. That's it.
So if you spend the evening at my... There have been Americans in prison in Israel. There have also been, and there continue to be, dozens and dozens and dozens of sex offenders, accused sex offenders from the United States who fled to Israel, including one recently, an Israeli government official who was caught trying to molest a 15-year-old girl and fled to Israel and is not going back to the United States to stand charges for attempted molestation of a child. Have you advocated for the Israeli government to return him to the United States?
I'm not familiar with that case. It has not come to us at the embassy. So I'm not aware. Is this the person in Nevada?
That is correct.
Okay, I
in
heard
Clark
about
County,
it.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I heard about it through open source media.
So he heard about it, but he has no idea. Like, they act like, oh, what are you talking about? Are you serious? Remember, they caught him in Vegas, and then they flew him to fucking Israel. What do you mean you don't know about it? They don't know anything about the PDF files. They don't know. They just happen to not know anything. Wallah. If that PDF file's name was Muhammad or something, he would have been all over social media.
It was never something that was presented to us, but I would have no problem with him being extradited back to the U.S.
You're the president's and our country's representative in the state of Israel, so I think it would fall to you to advocate with your friend, the prime minister, to say, wait a second, we have a very close relationship. We're obviously the single largest source of outside funding for this country. How can you take an accused child molester and shield him from American justice, send him back to the United States? Have you ever had that conversation?
No, because the prime minister would not be the proper person
that may be
in
right.
Israel.
Pardon my ignorance. But
that would deal with an extradition. It would go through their court system. And so the prime minister is separate, very similar to what we have in the U.S., where there is a separation of powers. So it would go through something other than the prime minister.
Have you advocated to the courts, to judges, to anybody in the Israeli justice system?
There has never been a request for me to engage in that. I would be happy to do it if the White House said.
Do you guys see how they lie? Like, the guy was caught in Vegas, molesting a 15-year-old girl, and they flew him out to Israel, because it's a PDF safe haven, and they're acting like, oh, but he has to go through the court system. The fuck you mean? You guys flew him out to Israel knowing that he committed a crime in Vegas, and you allowed him back in. Yeah, and it's just straight fucking lies. They're just like lying to people, and people are fucking falling for it. They're baking and they're eating.
Sent a message to me. I do work for the president. I serve at his pleasure. If anyone at the White House were to say to me, would you please go and make a case for it? But probably if that were to happen, it wouldn't come through the embassy as much as it would likely come from the Department of Justice at the U.S. in D.C. They would make the request. They might involve us, but they very likely would not.
Does it seem strange to you that people accused of child molestation in the United States are allowed to?
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor?
No.
You've got to try Otter.
I don't
Here's
know.
how it works.
I don't want to know how it works.
Have refuge within the borders of our closest ally? How that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I would say that
if you've molested an American child, shouldn't you be required to stand justice?
It's an allegation. Let's be clear. One of the things about our...
Did he just say it's an allegation? Did you guys hear that? He said it's an allegation. Wow.
Our system of jurisprudence, you're innocent until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So if the charges are there, should he be extradited? I would say so.
The charges are there.
Yeah. Okay. So they should be, but that's a Justice Department decision, and they're the ones who should be pursuing it. To my knowledge, they haven't. They certainly haven't engaged the U.S. Embassy over it.
Why would the Israeli government harbor fugitives from justice in the United States?
I'm not sure that...
There are dozens and dozens and dozens. And in fact, there's an Israeli group that keeps track of them that is dedicated, Jewish Israeli group dedicated to combating the molestation of children, and keeps a long list. And you can look it up. And
Tucker, I hope you're not saying that you think the Israelis support the molestation of children.
Obviously, I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I'm saying that.
What do you mean you're not saying that? They welcomed the man back into Israel after knowing he committed a crime in Vegas. Well, I'm Jed. They think we're like, I don't even want to drop the word. Like, you know he committed a crime. And you allowed him back into Israel. So, yeah, obviously you allow it. It's okay. That's why it's called a safe haven for PDF files. I'm making things up.
The Israeli government allows shields
Yeah.
accused child
I'm not sure
molesters
that's
from justice in the
I'm
United
not sure I
States.
could say that that's something that is provable. I don't know. But I am not aware that the Israeli government is shielding people.
You obviously want to sleep well and fashionable.
Was at a conference in Las Vegas last year and was caught up in a sting designed to catch people soliciting sex from children. He was one of a number of people arrested for this. He was arraigned and charged. And then 2 days later, he fled to Israel and did his first hearing by Zoom. He was allowed for some reason to leave for a foreign country, having already been charged for a attempted molestation of a child. And he remains here now. And there have been many news stories about this. And I just wonder if you would ask the Israeli government to put him on a plane and send him back to face justice for attempting to molest an American child. It doesn't seem complicated.
No, I wouldn't mind doing that, but I want to find out if the Justice Department of the U.S. has already sought to extradite him. Is there anything in process? I don't know.
Why wouldn't they seek to extradite him?
I have no idea. That's a question for the Justice Department.
I have many questions for the Justice Department, like why are millions of Epstein files still classified? Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I haven't kept up with that. I've never met the man. I don't know him.
You haven't kept up with the Epstein disclosure?
I mean, only from a distance. I'm 6,000 miles away from D.C. these days.
You attacked me personally for suggesting that Jeffrey Epstein had ties to Mossad. I'm not saying he worked for Mossad. I don't think we know that. But there's no question that he had extensive contact with CIA.
But I think you said it, a turning point event. Everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein.
I said everyone thinks. And it turns out everyone was right, that he did have.
I'm not sure everyone was right or everyone thinks.
Okay, but you said that I was lying, and I don't want to make this about me.
I don't think I said you were lying, Tucker. I don't recall.
I'm just saying, why don't we release all the files, and then we don't need to guess?
I got no problem with that. Go ahead.
Would you call on it? Well, because you weighed in on it and said that this was not true, when of course...
I said there was no evidence.
Well, there's quite a bit of evidence, but you haven't apparently bothered to read any of the files. Is that what you're saying?
I have not read the Epstein files. Apparently you have.
Well, they're on the internet.
But when you say that that everybody knows that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent.
Said everyone believes that.
I don't think everybody does. I don't know.
Well, everyone knows that he had contact with, and by the way, not just Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, which is much more distressing for me. I'm not Israeli, I'm American. I don't want my government having any contact with someone like Jeffrey Epstein. So the shame
I wouldn't either.
Is on the United States, as far as I'm concerned, just to be totally clear about that. Everyone's very sensitive about the Israel connection, not at all sensitive about the U.S. connection, which I find very revealing. We should care about what our government does first, I think.
No, it's actually Israel first. Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
But since you weighed in on it and said there's no evidence, I'm surprised that since that evidence has been open to the public for a month, since you've already weighed in publicly on this question, that you've made no effort to evaluate that evidence. Why is that?
I just told you I was certainly not aware that there were some specific allegations. I knew about the former prime minister, but I don't know him. I'm not sure I ever met him in my many times. You know, I've been to Israel over 100 times since 1973. The first time I came here was 1973, July. And that's almost 53 years of coming and going to this country. So I know the country well. I know a lot of people here. But I don't know everything, and I don't know.
Work today is broken. Every day, people juggle so many different tools. Just
know everybody. But I do a lot of people.
Of course, no, and I can see your love for it, and I think that's great. But I'm talking about the U.S. government and its responsibility to, you know, there's a lot of complaint about conspiracy theories and everyone, you know, he's a hater. Everyone's assigning motive. But there's a way to end these conversations very quickly with facts, and I'm highly confused by.
Have you brought this up to the president?
I mean, no, I don't work for him. I've said this many times.
I know you don't work for him, but you go to the White House and you see people there. You and J.D. Vance are very good friends. So have you brought this up to them? Because
I have brought this up in public many times.
It's not on my portfolio, but apparently it's very strongly on your mind. And I'm just thinking you should deal with it.
Child molestation is a significant concern for me.
Well, it should be for everybody. But if
there is a charged child molester.
But I'm saying if you are very involved in the details of this,
I'm not.
And you think it's the U.S. government that's hiding and shielding somebody, then bring it up to the people that you personally know.
I don't think that. I know it because the Justice Department has said we have millions of documents we're not releasing.
Why are they not releasing them?
I'm asking you as a U.S. government official.
Well, but
what the answer
might be. A
might
government official at the embassy in Jerusalem that has not one thing to do with the Justice Department and what they're investigating on any given day.
Again,
unless it involves...
And I don't want to argue or talk in circles, but you were the one who brought it up and said it's absolutely not true.
I was only responding to what I heard you say.
Okay, but now that you know there's evidence and we can settle this debate, you haven't looked at the evidence and you're not pushing for the release of the total corpus of evidence. And I'm confused because I want to believe that your goal is to get to the truth, and the fastest way to do that is by releasing the evidence. Don't you think?
You suggest that I can release the evidence?
I'm suggesting that you could call for it right now.
Well, fine, call for it. Let's have it all open. I thought it was being all opened up for everything I know.
Once it's open, I hope you'll read it because it's really interesting, and then it puts to rest a lot of the debate, and it ends the name calling because we can say, here it is right there. And we don't have to call people names. We can just assess the documents. Let me ask you.
But you bring it up. I hope you will bring it up to people at the White House. That
I'm bringing it up right now. I'm bringing it up now. And I'm asking, I just want to say this one last time, as the U.S. ambassador to Israel, I hope that you will make a formal request to the Israeli government to send every accused sex offender in this country back to the United States to face justice. And I don't understand why that hasn't been done. I'm confused.
Well, we'll try to clear up all the confusion that we have.
Well, if someone's been accused of trying to molest a child, I think it's...
Then certainly, and I'll check with the Justice Department because it is a DOJ issue and it would be handled through DOJ, the U.S., to the court systems in Israel. That's how it would be handled.
But the first step is the Israeli government saying, yes, we will allow you to extradite this person back. The person is being shielded by the government. That's why the person's here. That's why he fled here, so he wouldn't have to stand trial for trying to molest a child. I want to get to as I said at the outset, I said something awful that I regret that my wife barked at me about. I lashed out at Christian Zionists and evangelicals, and I just want to say again that I'm sorry. I've always liked them because they're pro-life and they're also really nice people. So for the third time, I'm sorry that I said that. I think part of my problem was I don't understand the theology, and you are not a fake Baptist minister. You're an actual minister. You had a church for many years. You're an actual theologian. So, and I mean this with sincerity. I hear people say, those who bless Israel will be blessed. I know it's a reference to Genesis. I don't understand the connection between that concept and modern Israel and the geopolitical.
That question is considered to be anti-sesame because it's talking about, it's actually not even talking about Israel itself. It's talking about the descendants of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? But they turned Abraham and Israel into a country, I guess. They're no longer a person. They're a country. Or a so-called country.
World. And so I'm going to stand back and
well,
ask
let's
you
first define, because, from my days as a debater in high school and college, one of the things I knew, you didn't start the debate till you defined the terms.
Amen.
Let's define the terms.
Thank you.
What is a Christian Zionist? What does that mean to you? What does it mean?
I don't know. It's the people who call me a Nazi for asking what Israel means. Exactly. I mean, that's kind of my... I don't even know.
But here's the point. If you say a Christian Zionist is a person who has a brain virus and is guilty of heresy, that's a pretty big charge.
I know. I shouldn't have made it. I made it out of anger and ignorance.
So,
and I'm
Christian, I think we can agree, is somebody who follows Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Has a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, believes in his death, burial, resurrection, has repented of one's sins, and have accepted him as one's Savior. Would that be fair?
Amen.
Christian. Define that. Zionist. A Zionist simply...
Okay, Christian Zionists, we understand. They believe in Prophet Jesus as a savior and whatnot, but the Zionists themselves don't even believe in him. They believe that he's boiling and you know what. Like, it's just kind of a weird belief at this point. Oh, seriously, no offense.
Simply means a person who believes that the Jewish people have a right to have a homeland where they have security and safety. Did you believe that the Jews have a right to live in Israel? Do you believe that Jews have a right to live in Israel? That would be a Zionist. That's all a Zionist is.
I
It's
have
not
a
anything-
million questions about what all of those terms mean.
Yeah.
But conceptually, I wish Israel no harm. I don't want to see them
Do you want them to have a place where they can live with safety and security?
So I saw this recently in an extremely telling exchange between the lieutenant governor of Texas, who I know and I've always liked.
It's true, guys. I mean, they have the right to live in their any country that they choose to live in. You know, I mean, why are we debating thievery? It's okay to steal. There's nothing wrong with that because they have the right to live in peace by disturbing the indigenous people's peace, stripping them from their self-determination, their land, their homes. And then if you talk about it, then, hey, what are you talking about? You're an anti-Semitic. They have the right to steal a land because God promised them and told them specifically to steal land. It's okay, bro. What is wrong with you guys? You guys are, you know what? You guys are pathetic. Well, you guys are pathetic.
And a woman I don't know, never met, who's on the Religious Liberty Commission or something. And she said, I'm a Catholic, but I'm not a Zionist. And they had this ferocious exchange. And he kept saying, and everyone on the panel seemed to keep saying, you have to believe in Israel's right to exist, which I've never kind of questioned, just for the record, but it did raise two questions I think are really important, and I hope you'll answer them. One is, where does that right come from?
Would you remember the differences between chronic bronchitis and emphysema for the NCLEX?
No.
So remember, emphysema is
I don't.
I would say it comes from, essentially, you could say it comes from the Bible. I would say that it does. But it comes also from a long iteration of historical precedents going to the Balfour Declaration of 1917. It comes from the League of Nations 1927. It comes from the United Nations 1947, the Declaration of Independence of the Israel State in May of 1948. They were immediately attacked. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1956. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1967 by 5 countries. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1973 in the Yom Kippur War. They won the war. The point is, does Israel have a right to exist? They also had wars in 1982 in Lebanon. They've had the intifadas, 2 of those. They've had...
You know, they talk about those wars and they just dismiss the fact that they were invading countries. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they won the war, so they have the right to the land. That's when we say they go back to the 1907 Older Hague Convention 4, where there's no such thing as annexing or winning wars by offensive or defensive. You're not the people of that land. You invaded them. Then you invade Lebanon in 82 and say we have the right to self-defense. We only stole a territory. Why, you know, we have the right to steal territories. And the Lebanese are terrorists for resisting. Yeah, the Lebanese are terrorists. Why would you resist? Because God promised them this land, guys. Well, but these Arab countries like the Lebanon, Palestinians, and Syrians, they're all terrorists. They're not allowing the Israelis to invade and steal land. Like, wow. Just submit to the occupation. People are disgusting nowadays.
Lebanon again in 06. I was there. No, I'm very familiar with the modern history of the state.
Okay.
Pretty familiar, I think. And I've been
But
here.
a Zionist simply means somebody who believes that Israel has a right to exist. Now, the question is, do you believe Israel has a right to exist?
I guess. I mean, I want Israel to exist. Well, no, but I want to know what that means. So, like, do other countries have a right to exist?
No.
Well, they do exist.
That was an anti-Semitic question, by the way. That was an anti-Semitic question. Why, Tucker? Why would you tell them does other countries have the right to exist? Only Israel has the right to exist. Yeah, I mean, people need to get educated. People need to get educated about this type of... Don't say this type of stuff, Tucker. Don't. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? Only Israel has the right to exist. People are pathetic, bro. Hold on. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yes.
Do they have a right to exist? You keep saying Israel has a right to exist, and I want to know what other countries
They have a
right
legal right, because every international body in the last 100 years has said the Jewish people have a right
I
to
understand.
their
You explained
indigenous
it, but
homeland.
my question
so that's a
is,
legal right.
what
Do
other?
they have a biblical right? I would say that yes, but you may say they don't.
I don't know. I'm actually
Okay.
sincerely interested in finding out what you mean by a biblical right. But first, to the legal right, does any other country on the planet have the same right that Israel has to exist?
Well, you could say
We need to cancel Tucker Carlson. That's the second time he asked if other countries have the right to exist. That is unacceptable, guys. That is unacceptable. Only Israel has a right to exist. Best Israel. Hey, it's the second time. Third time, guys, we're going to just do a petition to cancel Tucker Carlson. That's unacceptable. How dare you say other countries have the right to exist? My blood pressure is just, oh my God, this guy's ridiculous.
does Jordan have a right to exist? When it was Transjordan and the Brits came and divided up the Middle East and they gave some land to Jordanians and they gave some land to the Saudis and they gave some land to various Middle Eastern countries, and it was all carved up.
The Brits came, occupied, the Brits and the French, they came, occupied the Middle East and gave the people of the land a land. Make that make sense. No.
And the French gave Lebanon its right to exist. Do they have a right to exist?
Do they?
No, they don't. They don't. The French fucked up when they gave the Lebanese the land. When the French gave the Lebanese their own land, the Lebanese land was given by the French after they stole it from the Lebanese or occupied it. They gave it back to them. Do they have the right to exist? No, they don't. They don't. They should have waited until Israel came and took over the entirety of the Middle East, because they're the only country that has the right to exist on stolen land. Think about it, guys. I can't deal with these Lebanese people, these Palestinians and Syrians and the Middle Eastern people. Like, it's just like they can't even submit to occupation. It's just so fucking stupid. I'm so sick and tired of these people.
Well, why not?
Okay. Every country.
Does the U.S. have a right to exist?
I'm asking you.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I think the U.S. has a right to exist.
Okay.
We came here. We came there. We're in Israel now talking. But does the U.S. have a right to exist? Does anyone question whether we have a right to exist?
I don't. Yeah, but I, of course, I'm for America. You know.
Good for you.
But so every current country on the map has the same right to exist that Israel has. Is that what you're saying?
I think what we're saying is that when a country has established itself.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys.
Who cares, dude?
And it is following international law. It has been deemed by numerous bodies that it is indigenous to its homeland, as Israel is. This is its homeland. It goes back 3,800 years to the time of Abraham.
No, it's actually 3,884. He's incorrect here. 3,884 shows that Netanyahu is direct descendants to Prophet Jacob. Go ahead, Huckabee. Go ahead.
It's not that the Jewish people just showed up here in 1948. We're going to have some.
They didn't show up. The Palestinians showed up on ships from Japan. The Jewish people did not. They didn't come from Eastern Europe, guys. They didn't come from Eastern Europe. No, it's just we're just hallucinating. No.
Hold on. So those are two different tracks, and I just want to make sure that we separate them so I understand each one separately.
All right.
So you're saying there's the modern legal framework, and so you said a country that abides by international law has a right to exist.
I would say that is a part of its existence.
Would the inverse be true, that a country that does not abide by international law forfeits its right to exist?
Not necessarily, if it has the capacity to stay and make its case known. But there have been Jewish people in this land,
okay, but that's
in this very land, for 3,800 years.
Okay, so, but you're saying as the modern nation state with borders and a military and a Knesset and just all the kind of trappings of a modern country, all of which I support, that country has, every country on the planet has the same right as Israel to exist because it does exist. Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to understand the concept here.
Well, I think what we're trying to get to is Christian Zionism, and you've taken this way off the road here.
I don't know that I have. I don't mean to. Christian Zionism is a separate thing, but I just keep hearing people say Zionism is the belief
but that's the fundamental argument that's going on. Does Israel have a right to live in their indigenous, ancient, historical.
Allah the right indigenous land. Indigenous with 30 pounds of sunblock. Allah kalak. Sorry, guys, go ahead.
Historical land, a land that has been affirmed throughout international organizations, a land that has direct ties to the Jewish people.
I just want to know if this is a universal principle. I guess that's what I'm getting at, because if it's not, then it's meaningless to me, because as a Christian, I believe in universal principles. Something is right for everyone, or it's wrong for everyone. We don't believe in special cases.
But here's the question. If the Jews didn't have this land, would the Jews have a right to any land?
I don't know. I'm not attacking.
Oblast. Yetamat Oblast in 1933, that they gave him a land. Atuhim a land. They gave him a land and they didn't want to go there.
In the Jews, I'm asking if this applies to every people in every nation. Does every nation have the same right to its own homeland, to its own physical land, that you say Israel does?
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question.
No, but
does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea, whether that's a legitimate point of view to say that there should not be a Jewish homeland. There should not be a Jewish state.
You'll never hear me say
period.
that. I just want to know.
I know you haven't said it, but that's the argument.
It's one of the arguments.
So he went from the river to the sea, where the Palestinians actually stole that term from the Likud party charter in 74 or 77, something like that. And when they start using it, that's anti-Semitic. But if the Jays use it, it's okay, because God promised them the land 3,884 years ago, even though they don't follow God's law or Moses' law. But God promised them the land, guys. I mean, you see, this is what I don't like. You guys are not understanding that they have the right to the land. They have the right to anything. Everything in the world was promised to them 3,884 years ago.
It's going on globally. And the United States, excuse me, has a pretty narrow view, I would say, in our media culture, of what's happening around the world. There are plenty of countries having this debate. Stonehenge is a lot older than the first temple in Israel. And it was built by the same people who live there now. It's the same people. And they are being pushed off their island and outnumbered by people from other places. And so in Great Britain, in Ireland, which is also a country with a nation of people, a race, if you will, that is being displaced, replaced.
Who are they being replaced by?
Immigrants.
Okay.
From other places.
I just wanted to clarify, because I was one of the...
Well, just as a demographic matter, it's just like you can look at the numbers. It's not controversial. Just look at the numbers. There'll be a minority in their country. And their people have been there longer than Jews have been in Israel. Yeah. And so they're having this debate too. That's all I'm saying. And lots of places are having this debate.
Sure.
So does that principle apply to everyone, or is it specific just to Israel?
I think it applies specifically to Israel. It applies to anyone who can prove that they have some connection to the land and connection to the history and connection to international law.
Okay, what's the proof? Up until today, they can't show proof that they've been there. There are a bunch of Khazarians who converted to Judaism. What's the proof? That's the only proof. They practice Judaism. They don't even practice Judaism. Half of them are not even, they're atheists. They say we don't believe in God. Yeah. What a great covenant there.
Law, but Israel, I think, does have an
bringing up
extraordinary
international law. So if, again...
Well, no, but let me finish this, Tucker, because here's the point. We're talking about Christian Zionism. The idea that as a Christian, I believe in both the Old and the New Testament. Why wouldn't I? I'm a person of the book. There are 80 million evangelical Christians in the United States. What makes us who we are is our adherence to the Scripture, our belief that the Bible, all of it, not part of it, but all of it, is the Word of the living God.
Yeah.
So if I believe in the Old and the New Testament, I do believe that there is a very specific call to the Jewish people that started with Abraham, and he called them out of what is now modern-day Iraq, said, come where I send you. He came, this is the land. Genesis 12:3, he says, I will bless those who bless you, curse those who curse you. In Genesis 17.
You see, it was talking about the descendants of Abraham. So the people living on the land today are not descendants of Abraham. They're descendants of Khazar. I mean, Khazar has nothing to do with Abraham. The descendants of Abraham are the Palestinians. The fuck?
He looks out at the world, he says, look, and this is where I'm giving you the land.
I think
and
it's
since that time, there have been people living in this land connected to that moment of history. So there is a historical connection that is unbroken.
You've said that, and I want to ask you what that means a little more specifically, if that's okay. But first, let me just say that you could say the same thing of Britons who've been there in their land longer.
Is anybody trying to tell the Brits they can't live there anymore?
No, what's happening is...
But they are saying that to the Jews.
Oh, okay. But I just wonder if you would extend the same sympathy or the same principle. You don't. You seem like this is. You think I'm trying to trap you? I'm not. I'm at all trying to trap you. It'd be as simple as saying native Britons have the same.
I got no problem with the native Brits having their land,
having the right to their land.
But my point is, I don't know that there is a biblical connection for the Brits.
Okay.
But I would say
so. That's what it comes down to.
Take that off the table, and I think there's still a basis for the Jews having this little bitty strip of real estate.
I'm not even arguing with you. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to understand what it is that you're saying, because it's not obvious to me, and maybe it's an IQ problem, but I'm having trouble understanding this. But let me just go back to just clarify one thing.
Okay.
You've brought up international law at least twice, maybe three times, as a basis for Israel's legitimacy. If Israel was out of compliance with international law, whatever that is, would it be less legitimate?
Depends on if the law and the way it's applied is legitimate. There are some applications of so-called international law that are not legitimate.
I agree.
Look at the ICC or the ICJ.
I agree.
Utterly ridiculous. One of the reasons I'm so grateful President Trump and Secretary Rubio.
Yeah, guys, the ICC and ICJ are anti-Semitic. First of all, they called out the genocide that's happening in Gaza. How dare they? Do they not know that Israel has a right to a genocide? And ICC, how dare you call the most moral human demon on earth war criminal like Bibi? Shame on you, ICC. Shame on you. Shuhab. This world is becoming a circus. Like, how dare they call Bibi a war criminal? That is fucked up. That is, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Rubio are pushing hard, trying to get rid of the ICC and the ICJ is because they have become rogue organizations that are no longer really about an equal application of law and justice.
I don't know enough about it to say if that's true or not. But I'm interested that you yourself appealed to international law as a basis of Israel's
Well, what I'm looking
legitimacy.
at is the whole of the last 100 years.
The Balfour Declaration is not exactly international law, by the way. It was a letter, I think.
It was maybe not law, but it was a declaration. It was
an illegal declaration that was condemned by international law, because why would you give a declaration over a land that is not yours? Yeah.
An assumption and a declaration that was done by Lord Balfour in Great Britain. At that time, this land was under the British mandate, and he said the Jews should have the land that was theirs from 3,800 years ago. It was simple as that.
He didn't say that. That's not what he said. They should. The Balfour Declaration. Why did they give it to them? Why did they have to propose a partition plan since they gave... That's why the Balfour Declaration was just bullshit. Because if it was valid, then there would be no reason for them to propose a partition plan, you dumb fuck. Sorry, guys. Don't say anything.
Right. And I'm not debating that. I'm just... It was not international law. It was a colonial power saying, okay,
but then
here's how
later
we're
it
going to
was
divide up the
international
world
law
after
under the League of
fall
Nations,
Ottoman
under the
Empire.
United Nations, and then because of the victories that Israel had against those who tried to annihilate them, and it wasn't just that they were trying to take a little piece of their land, they tried to annihilate them.
Okay.
And there is still to this day the shouts of from the river to the sea. And Tucker, that...
They try to annihilate them. This is for people who don't understand. When they were attacked by 5 or 6 or 7 countries like they claim, is because you attacked the Arab League nation, which Palestine was under the Arab League nation. They rejected the partition plan, so you start attacking the Palestinians and displacing them. That is you declaring war on the Arab League nation. This is why They attacked you, not because they want to annihilate you, because you were annihilating the Palestinians, so they had to defend them. These people are
means only one thing.
One thing.
Not the shrinking of Israel, but the annihilation of Israel.
I don't think
that's different.
I don't think you can say that you know what it means, actually, because you don't know what's in people's hearts. So why don't we just deal with the facts? Maybe some people mean it.
I know it's in their
that.
mouths. I know it's in their minds.
But I'm not, look, you'll never hear me say that. What you will hear me say is I'm confused by what the definitions are. So let's go through this. You've appealed to Genesis. Genesis 15 says it's Abram, it's pre-Abraham, it's Abram, receives from God the news that his descendants will inherit the land. And you tell me as the theologian if I'm getting this wrong, but from the Euphrates to the Nile. I think that's right. And that would include like basically the entire Middle East. That would be the Levant, so that would be Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon. It would also be big parts of Saudi Arabia and Iraq. It would be, I mean...
I'm not sure it would go that far. I mean, it would be a big piece of land, but here's the point.
It would be a lot of places that are now...
Let's see the point, because they always have a point when it comes to invasion.
Countries...
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or vibe coding meets
But this particular area that we're talking about now, Israel, is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose. We can look at it that way. Christian Zionism, I want to go back because that's where we started on
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. And so it is entirely fair for me with respect to ask, what land are you talking about? Because I just read Genesis 15, as I have many times. And that land, I think it says, from the Nile to the Euphrates, which is, once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that land to his people, the Jews, or he didn't. You're saying he did. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all. But I don't think that's what we're talking about here today.
What would be fine?
It would be fine if they took it all, guys. Like, I don't understand why y'all tripping and shit. It would be fine if they took it all. Hey, look at Tucker's face. It's like, are you just legalizing thievery and shit, and we're supposed to be okay with it? And say, well, God promised them the land. That's not extremism. You guys are being anti-Semitic. But if it was an Islamic law that says God promised them the entire world, that would be extremism and radical Islam. Oh,
well, it's exactly what we're talking about today.
But here's what I don't think
you think it would be fine if the state of Israel took over all of Jordan?
They don't want to take it over.
They don't.
They're not asking to take it over.
But you're saying that the reason that Israel is legitimate, has this inherent right to exist, is in part because God gave it to his people. And I am going to the same Bible that you're referring to and noticing that that is a huge piece of land. So if God gave them that land, then they have a right to take it now by your definition, unless I'm missing something completely.
Well, I think you're missing something because they're not asking to go back to take all of that, but they are asking to at least take the land that they now occupy, they now live in, they now own legitimately.
He just slipped and said that they now occupy and they live in. You know, we just want to take it, but they're not allowing us to occupy the entirety of Palestine. So these terrorists don't want to submit to occupation and just abide by the Torah or the Talmud.
And it is a safe haven for them.
Well, but may I ask, though, it's because you're appealing...
For context, guys, a safe haven for the PDF files that escaped from Vegas to Israel. Remember when they molested the 15-year-old girl? That's where they go for the safe haven. Just letting y'all know, if you want to find all the PDF files, you can find them over there and shit.
You're explaining what Christian Zionism is and your theological beliefs. And you think you just said it would be fine with you if the state of Israel took all of Jordan, all of Syria, all of Lebanon.
That's really not exactly what I'm trying to say.
I'm asking,
Tucker.
Is that what you said? I thought that's what you just said.
It was somewhat of a hyperbolic statement in that, you know, if that's what you feel like that we're talking about, but it isn't. We're talking about this land that Israel, the state of Israel, now lives in and wants to have peace in. They're not trying to take over Jordan. They're not trying to take over Syria. They're not trying to take over Iraq or anywhere else. But they do want to protect
Lebanon?
their people. No, they're not.
Exactly. He's like, what about Lebanon? Okay, why do you guys want to invade Lebanon if you want to take over Lebanon?
Trying to take over Lebanon.
But you're saying that as a religious man, as a Christian Zionist, you agree with a lot of religious communities here in Israel that the justification for this country is theological. It's a contract between God and his people. And I'm telling you that that contract includes a tract of land that is much larger than the current nation state.
So you may be a bigger Zionist than even the Jews are that live in Israel.
I'm trying to understand the implications of your theology for geopolitics, because you're saying that the...
I never knew that being a Zionist is a flex. You know, you can be a legal thief. That's a flex. Legal thief.
The present government of Israel has a moral right to take over what are now other people's countries.
No, I didn't say that.
Then what are you saying?
I'm simply saying the people who live in Israel, I think, have a right to have security, have safety. They have a right to be able to live in this land that they have a connection to for 38
I told myself when I said a prayer that I would not get annoyed, but as someone who is, you know, the father of daughters, when I see child molesters hiding in Israel and escaping American justice, I think I have a right to safety in my country too. So you can understand that I think most people feel they have a right to safety. I do think Israel has a right to safety, and I hope that for them. And I'm sincere, but I'm an American, and I have a right to safety in my country.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done. And
country too.
Of course you do.
Agree? And I think so, but I just want to get to this point. If Israel were to say, God gave us in Genesis 15 all of Lebanon, all of Syria, all the way up to Iraq, would that be legitimate in your view?
I don't think in this particular day and time they're asking for it.
Would it be legitimate?
I'm not sure that it would be.
Why? Because
I'm not sure if it would be. He has to take the permission of his masters to see if it's okay. If he says yes or no, they gotta. So it was unexpected, the question. So you guys gotta pardon the guy. Haram. He didn't know. Haram.
You just said that God gave it to them.
Because I think that there is an understanding that the people of Israel today, now if they end up getting attacked by all these places and they win that war and they take that land, then okay, that's a whole nother discussion. But you and I started out. We started talking about something simple.
So these people still talk about conquest and conquering and annexing, even though it's illegal under international law. That's why they want to cancel international law, because annexation, conquering, offensive or defensive does not give you the right to take over the land. That's why they want to cancel international law. Yep, they want to go by exactly American. They want to go by might is right. That's it. You know, we won the war, we take over. Yep.
Christian Zionism.
But it turns out it's not similar, because the core of Christian Zionism, you said, and I'm quoting you, is the understanding, the belief, the theological understanding that Jews have a moral and legal, we went through the legal,
biblical,
moral deriving from the biblical, the promises in our Bible, which we share with the Jewish people, the first part of it, the Old Testament, that it derives from God's promise to the Jews. And so I have two questions. What are the borders of that? And who are those people in 2026? And you're not the first person I've asked, but you're the most reasonable, most gentle, most theologically informed person. So I'm really hoping for an answer.
Yeah.
The first question was the borders. I can't get an answer. Yeah. What those borders are. So I'm going to give up. But the second question is every bit as pressing, which is who are the people? Who are the modern? Yes. Who are the descendants? So we know, and I believe, and I agree with you as a Christian, that God promised this land from modern day Iraq to modern day Egypt to this people, the Jews, to Abram's, actually not to Abram's descendants, as it says in Genesis 15. Who are his descendants now, and how do we know who they are?
I think they're the Jews, and we know who they are because they've always been a Jewish people. There has been an unbroken line of Jewish people, and they've lived in this land for 3,800 years. Sometimes not very many of them, because they were chased out all over the world. They were hunted down. They were almost annihilated during the Holocaust. They came back. To this day, Tucker, they represent, you know how many Jews there are in the whole world?
Please,
No,
I understand. But first of all, the greatest genocide of Jews no one ever mentions was by the Romans, where they were literally banned from Jerusalem for 500 years.
Yeah, of course.
And it's all awful. And I'm opposed to all of that. I'm opposed to mass killing of anybody, period. I'm opposed to
hear
killing.
you say that.
I mean it.
Yeah.
And I hope
I
we can
believe
agree
that.
on that.
I believe that.
My question is, and it's not a bumper sticker answer, it's a sincere answer, how do we know? Because what you're saying is that certain people have a title to a highly contested region. They own it in some deep sense. So I think it's fair to ask, who are they and how do we know? So the current prime minister's ancestors weren't from here within recorded history. He has no deed. Bibi Netanyahu, on one side, his family's from Poland. They're from Eastern Europe. So how do we know that he has a connection to the people who God promised the land to, Abram's descendants? How do we know that?
Well, if you take the genealogies that come not only from the Old but the New Testament, you see that there is a historical connection through the entirety of the Old and the New Testament.
What connection? Was Jacob in Poland? I'm confused. Was he in Poland? For real. You're laughing while you're living where?
Details the Jewish connection to this land.
Does that include Bibi's
indisputable.
family? How do we know that if his family
if they were
comes here?
scattered,
but how do we know it's the
through
same people?
Yeah,
exactly. No, why is that crazy? If you say to me,
if they speak the same language, if they worship the same God, if they follow the same Bible, if they follow the same cultures and traditions, and they always pray next year in Jerusalem, and they pray for
EVE Online is
the peace of Jerusalem, and they pray facing toward Jerusalem, does that not give you a little bit of a clue as to who they are?
Let's go through those things, because I would like to have a rational. This is the conversation I've wanted. Bless you. Thank you for doing this. Let's just go through those things.
Okay.
So one of the things I admire most about Israel is they resurrected a dead language in 1948. Good for them.
Well, they really didn't
They resurrected a dead language, exactly.
Resurrected. It was existent.
Okay, I'm not. That's that's a compliment. I'm not slighting.
No. But it is the first time in all of human history that a language has survived through this length of time. It's. I would call it. You might not, but I would call it a miracle. One of many.
Okay.
That you can attribute to this land.
I think it is, guys. It is a miracle. To convince the world that Yiddish is Hebrew, that is a miracle. Let's not lie. G shit, bro.
It's wonderful as someone who loves language. Netanyahu's parents did not speak Hebrew. Okay, they didn't live in this region. Netanyahu, the founders of this country, were mostly secular. Some of them were avowed atheists. They were not praying for the peace of Jerusalem. They weren't praying at all because they didn't believe in God. There's no genealogy linking.
Exactly. The founders of Zionism don't even believe in God, but they only believe that God promised them the land. I don't know what God they believe in, but there's something going on in their head at the time.
Their families to the people of this land 3,000 years ago. They're not.
They're not.
So how do we know, since they didn't share a language, they didn't share a religion, they had no religion whatsoever, how do we know that they had a right to come here from Eastern Europe and
but they were scattered.
Take the land?
They were scattered to Eastern Europe.
That.
They were scattered all over the world. There were many in Ethiopia. They were in Russia. They were in Poland. They were throughout Asia.
Imagine convincing people that you were scattered all over the world for 2,000 years, even though you had the chance to come back when they fled in 1492. You know, they seek refuge under the Ottoman Empire, and they weren't exiled. That's you. Yeah, it's me, Blue. I don't know what's wrong with Blue. Why do you call you Blue? You got blue balls? You can't get some?
Jews were all over the place, but they were still Jews. But they were still Jews.
Okay, so then let me get to the nub of the question, since, again, a lot is at stake, a lot of money is at stake. Land is very valuable. Israel has a lot of resources. By the way, if you're accused of a crime, you can hide here. That's a pretty good passport to have.
Exactly.
It's a good thing, right? So who's entitled to it? I don't understand, and you're very discouraged in the United States from asking this question for some reason. It's a totally rational
I'm not
question.
discouraged.
No, you're not discouraging.
Yeah.
Others do. You're like the only person I can have this conversation with. Everyone else will be like, shut up, Nazi. It's a foundational question. Are you speaking of an ethnic group or a religious group?
Well, I think you're looking at, for many people, it is religious. There are people who may not have a deep religious connection to Judaism, but they're still Jews.
Okay, so it's an ethnic category.
It is ethnic, but it is also religious. It is rooted in religion. You can't take it out of it. Now, that means
then
there are
how
some people,
can an atheist...
Well, I will tell you this. There are some people who say, I'm Christian. They never go to church. They never pray. They never read their Bible. They don't tithe.
But they're not entitled to citizenship on the basis of that.
Well,
they're
but
not
I'm saying
entitled
they still call themselves Christian, even though they identify in that way.
Here's the difference. You're saying that people who have this identification have a deed to a huge chunk of land on the Mediterranean, okay? So there's, it's a right. You keep telling me it's a right. And so it's totally fair to say, if you come to my house and say, I've got the title to your house.
Okay, Blue. Okay, you're a female. No problem. Cause I know it's a male thing. I thought you had balls. It's okay. You don't have balls. No problem.
I get to ask, may I see it? Where'd you get it? And that's exactly what happened here. People from Europe, Eastern Europe, came here, in a lot of cases atheists, and kicked out a lot of people who lived here.
Land.
Well, but
they did not just throw people out.
They bought a lot of land. There's no question about that.
They did buy a lot of land.
But they also, in
whole idea of Zionist
1948,
movement
kicked out a lot of people.
in the war.
Oh, it was a war. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not want to relitigate the history. I'm just saying it's a fact.
Okay.
Including a lot of Christians. A lot of Christians.
Okay, let's take a break from this. We still have like a whole hour and a half for this. So I don't want to watch the whole thing. We watched enough of it. We might watch some more in a bit. American. No, I'm American.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on?
What's going on?
Chilling, wallah. Shoo, what's new, man?
Yeah, I just want to tell you that freaking guy, bro, he's worse than BB.
Huckabee?
Oh, yeah, man. But you know what? I think Tucker, man, Tucker's the real deal. He came around 180 degrees. He put some, he bombards them with the right questions. He's the man. He's the man.
Exactly, yeah. They don't want to hear that.
Do you ever see Tucker point the finger at his interviewee? Right? You'll never see him point his finger. He did it with Huckabee. He felt like he betrays the United States, puts down the United States because of Israel, and Tucker couldn't take it. It was like it was a low blow.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you see. Let me end it on Instagram. And just end it here on Instagram. Discard live video. Let me just end it here. Yeah, that'd be good. Let's keep the YouTube running. Exactly, man. Wallah. Wa alaikum assalam. So what do you think about Shisma? You think Iran will attack soon, or Israel will attack soon?
Yeah, definitely. The hit could come from Israel first. That's not a big surprise.
Yeah.
But the hit is coming. Just too many movements. Too many movements in the region.
Exactly. Let's see Robert. Robert. I don't know why people request if they just don't want to say anything. Yeah, but go ahead. You think so, Eucalyptus? Let's just Eucalyptus come give us updates if he's available.
Come on up.
Come on up, Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus will have the map ready.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. What's going on?
Still monitoring this situation. Pakistan started an airstrike in Afghanistan today in preparation for this whole thing.
What, like in a good way or in a bad way? They were training?
Bad way. In a bad way.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. When they lost Imran Khan, it was game over for them. That's it. It basically became Zionist government.
That's crazy. Yeah, they were always an ally.
It's going to get fucking crazy. I don't think we even can comprehend how crazy it's going to get. Okay? We're talking about World War, like the real deal shit at this point. So today on Al Mayadeen, they leaked, and it wasn't a leak. It was like a confident informant that they have within the Iranian government that came out and basically told them, this is going to be a world-changing event. Let me read it out to you. Iranian source. An Iranian source close to Iranian decision-making circles to Al-Mayadeen's correspondence in Tehran. Any war against Iran will mark the start of the inevitable path of the disintegration of the world order. Any war will pave the path for any other powers to make use of this shift to carry out their geopolitical agenda. The outbreak of such war will lead to substantial changes in China and Russia's calculations. The shifts might push Moscow and Beijing to take action to alter geopolitics to serve their interests. Any military confrontation against Iran will not be contained within its borders, but will lead to changing the international balance of powers as a whole. Same source, Steve Witkoff kept the Russian side waiting without offering any practical reassurance guarantees regarding the Ukraine war. This was the same source. So they did, these are just some of the, snippets from this interview they did. They didn't reveal the identity of this person. Al Mayadeen has some really good, insight on what's taking place. Before today, I was kind of looking at this whole thing as, regional and concentrated on Iran and Russia and China staying at a distance and just kind of supporting with logistics and stuff like that. But after Pakistan struck Afghanistan today, this is, much bigger than what's expected.
Right.
What's expected is going to be.
Exactly.
So I think by Monday, Tuesday at the latest.
You think so?
Yeah, as far as the kinetic strikes start, yeah, either the U.S. or Israel, I don't know who has their finger on the button already. That's why Iran shut down their airspace yesterday. Everybody's glued to their screens. Yeah, everybody who's following this closely is glued to their screens at the moment because it's go time. Once the airspace shuts down, that's it.
That's
it. It's not a small thing to shut down your country's airspace.
Right. Oh, so it's going to happen. That's kind of fucked up, though.
The extra confirmation was not just the shutting down of the airspace, but the U.S. military turning off all of their transponders, so you couldn't see what was their locations anymore. That was an additional confirmation, and then the third confirmation was the slowdown of all of the logistics being transferred over, all of the cargo planes that have been going 24 hours, moving equipment from the U.S. to Europe and from Europe to the Middle East. That has slowed down tremendously. So that was an additional confirmation.
Okay, let's see who Annie Williams on the panel.
Hi. I'm just from outside looking in, but
yeah, what's your stance?
This negotiation is going around with the US and Iran.
Okay.
I just want to ask, as American, who do you think that is benefiting so much on this pulling out on this negotiation on starting another chaos around the world? Is it American? Is it Americans, or is it Iran, or is it international NATO's, or Middle East?
Want to take it, Fax, or I'm going to
go
take
ahead,
it?
Eucalyptus.
Yeah, listen, sister, the negotiations are all theater. You know, this is just Israel carrying out its greater Israel plan. That's all it is. You know, there's no point of spending too much time conversating about this subject. The
Okay.
negotiations are theater.
Thanks for answering me directly.
No problem.
So, for your one president at the moment, is being tiptoeing, and 1 minute like we are going forward with negotiation, 1 minute is like is giving the threat. So, as Iranian, what would you deal with that person where that like 1 minute either way? Are we going to pull the threat aside, or are we going to tiptoe until the mid-elections?
Yeah. Listen, sister, Iran has a right to defend itself. Whatever
Yeah,
the Iranians need to do, they
100%
gotta.
I agree.
Yeah, they gotta defend themselves. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're being aggressed upon. So today they actually moved their troops over to the border with Iraq. You remember how I've been telling you facts for the last few weeks? Those Daesh prisons that were broken into and they released all of them out of Syria. The U.S. got caught moving them from Syria into Iraq on the border. Yeah, so Iran has taken an official position on the ground now against them in preparation for that front opening. The Israelis also left Georgia and Azerbaijan this morning. They negotiated a front opening up there as well. So Georgia and Azerbaijan will be joining in on this, you know, pew-pewing into Iran as well.
Oh, okay. I see. David, do you want to add something since you're from Is Not Real?
Yeah. Good morning.
Alan.
Sabah al khair.
Alan.
What I want to say to you that Iran, it's a big problem to all the nation, including China,
Iran is
including
China?
Soviet Union. Why?
Why?
It's no 1 minute. I
No,
didn't start.
I just said why.
It's
That's
a
all I
monster.
said.
It's a monster. It's
Muslim.
I tell you, but you didn't finish.
I didn't say anything,
Why?
David.
Explain me why.
I'm allowing you to speak.
It's
I'm not
a
saying
monster.
anything.
It's a,
Give him to finish facts.
Wait,
Give
this
him
is
to finish.
okay.
if she have a nuclear weapon, she is a threat on China, on Russia. It's a monster Muslim, and after all the Muslim country have a weapon, and they will start to fight between them. Let's say Saudi against Iran. You know, it's they will destroy the planet. So we don't want this. We want avoid nuclear weapon from Iran. Okay. And secondly, I think that is the first time in the history after Second War in Japan, we will see a nuclear weapon fall on Iran. I think if this war will be more for 30 years, 30 days, somebody from the player will throw a nuclear weapon on a place, you know, empty in the beginning. And after, it will be more and more, they can use this to other military target. Okay?
Facts. Did you catch that?
Prepare to nuclear weapon and prepare to Iran will launch. Also, 1 minute, I didn't.
Yeah, go ahead, David. Guys,
finish up,
let him speak. I'm drinking coffee so I can translate. Go ahead, David. You're on mute.
Turkish. It's Turkish coffee? Facts?
No, it's actually Arabic coffee.
She has
Arabian.
to prepare to missile from Iran also.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. David. Enlighten us with your knowledge. Go ahead.
So what I say two things. Iran have to will launch also on Europe. She have a missile arrive to Europe. She will send also a missile what she can. If she have atomic bomb, she send also on Europe. She don't care. But she don't have. It's a dangerous this Muslim country. When you give them a toy, they use it badly.
Right.
So nobody want an atomic bomb on in Iran.
Okay.
In Iran, nobody.
Yeah, I believe.
Nobody.
David,
also,
David,
you don't want this.
Yeah, I don't.
Because if they have a nuclear weapon, they can use arrived to America also.
Okay, can I respond to just? Yeah, I don't want
Can I
any.
go after you?
Yeah, I don't want any country to have nuclear weapons. We should start with take all the nuclear weapons from all the countries, including is not real, since I mean it's not a real country, but we should take the nuclear weapons from them too. That way we can avoid war or any threats from any country around the world. I mean, just like you want to take the nuclear power from Iran, you understand what I'm saying? I think before you preach about taking it from Iran, you should actually
You need
advocate
to
from
walk the
taking
word.
it. Yeah, you have to advocate for taking it from your so-called country first.
But do you blame Iran after all the things has been happening around the world so far? We've been
We have to
exposed
take
to.
the nuclear also for Pakistan.
From
We've been
Pakistan too.
exposed to
Pakistan.
The Muslims don't have
Iran.
to have a weapon.
The Muslims don't
Iran
need to
to
have a
say
weapon.
like
Yes.
no, I don't want to put that in because you have to remember in 2003 they had a treaty agreement with 2005 they had a treaty. No, 2003 they had a treaty with the Barack Obama not to have to excel their nuclear weapons, and then that has been.
David, I have to turn off your camera because you're not allowed to be driving on the panel, so you're going to get a violation. That's why I had to turn off your camera. Unless you're parking and not driving, yeah, you can be on, but don't open your camera if you're driving because you get a violation for that, David. Go ahead, Annie, and then Azadi. Azadi
Can you
wanted
hear
to
me?
add something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can actually.
That's what I mean. Like, how can you sit on the table when, like, in 2003, they had agreement, and then that agreement is been by United Nations, where the ICC and the ICS they've been going in and out of Iran to overseeing what the capacity of uraniums they have, and it's been overturned that all the capabilities was just for their own defense. But on the other side being they don't even agree by UN.
So yeah, over there, put it over there, under the show.
By the other side of the UN, they don't go to Israel and overseeing what the capability of uranium they have, and capability of uranium they have. So you can see like how double standard it is. And we can see now around the world, people now they're learning the truth.
They are.
It's becoming like it's ironic, like how the UN is working and how these overseeing people, security entities, you understand how the security.
Not there, yeah, put it on the third shelf, the third shelf. So sorry, Annie, go ahead.
Yeah,
we understand.
We can see now how everything is being exposed literally, and how the double standard is becoming more of there's one entity of nations.
Annie Williams, the U.S. doesn't care about double standard.
Let me finish.
I wanted to explain to you that might is right to the West. Western philosophy, might is right. You understand?
That is true. But that is true. I have to, even though I don't like American.
He's talking about the GCPOA.
I have to agree with American
under Obama.
Personally, I don't like American. I don't even know why his mods on my life.
JCPOA under Obama. Yeah, it's just another piece of paper. You know.
What did you say? Like you didn't like about what I said?
No, I said I don't like American. I don't like American. The one on top of you, he's too vile.
I agree with you, Annie. That the Western philosophy, political philosophy, might is right.
No problem.
And so is the Israeli political philosophy. Might is right. They don't care about double standards. They don't care about. They don't even care about the
first
criticism.
And foremost, let me just speak.
America,
I hope
what did you think
I'm
about what
speaking
David
to
said,
the people who. First and foremost, I need to speak to the people. Tomorrow,
I didn't even understand, David.
Yeah, well, he
guys,
said that.
Let her finish, and then we can go to eucalyptus.
Let me just ask, am I speaking to the people who I'm not gonna be censored in the morning?
No, what do you mean censored in the morning?
Censored means like a.
No, I know
I'm
what
speaking-
censored. I know what censored means, but what do you mean in the
Yeah,
morning?
if I'm speaking about the Zionist, I'm speaking about the Israel is
No,
like
you're just speaking about is not real. You're not attacking
politics.
the Jewish.
That's normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, politics is normal stuff, by the way, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, over here on my panel, I give we have freedom of speech on my panel. You say whatever you
Okay,
want.
thank
Yeah,
you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I don't want to be tomorrow, but police comes in my house like, oh, you said
just
this.
tell him Dr. Knockout said it's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can.
Now these days, now we need to be very vigilant with what we say.
Yeah, of course, I agree. I agree with that part. No, but go ahead, Mr. Eucalyptus. That's the name.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Wa
assalam.
alaikum assalam. Can you translate eucalyptus? What David said? 'Cause I didn't understand.
Okay, guys, before Eucalyptus, because I did promise Azadi, she's been a quiet person. So go ahead, Azadi, and then Mr. Eucalyptus can go after her.
He can translate after.
Or he can translate after her. Go ahead.
Who is the thing under me?
He's
the
a
thing.
thing that lives in another thing that calls itself Israel.
Is his name David?
David, his name is.
David. Okay.
David.
How come you say, oh yeah, you're projecting everything you guys do. You guys will bomb 7 countries at once, and somehow you're the victim. You will say, oh, we are defending ourselves, but everybody else can't defend themselves because they're TS'd, according to you, right? And for years, you've been saying Iran has this, Iran has that, with no proof. You guys have been saying that for years, but no proof. And then you supposedly want to take out the regime, but you targeted civilian areas. You targeted a women's university. You targeted apartments, innocent people's houses. But what you do is just self-defense. Is that what it is?
That's it. That's all they do is self-defense.
Open your mic.
Open your mic, David. She addressed you.
You can ask. Don't ask me.
She just
Why?
Ask the organization of Saba.
Why?
Of who?
But I tell you, you know Saba. Saba, it's an organization on nuclear who are. You don't want to develop too much nuclear in the world. It's
Stop
organization.
waffling. Answer my question.
Listen, you ask a question, a good question.
Yes, don't go
answer.
waffling about another thing.
Saba say, this organization say that they have a nuclear weapons they want to develop.
Do you have
not
proof
us,
for
not
that?
Israel. Saba, this organization.
Who's Saba?
Yeah,
He's talking about Sabra Hummus, guys. Sabra Hummus.
They know. Also, the Americans know that they want to develop a nuclear weapon. What you are talking about?
But why are you
Also
yelling, bro?
Europe.
Just take it easy. I don't know why you're yelling.
Also
You're driving.
Europe says this.
Bro,
David,
hold
what's
on.
the
Take it
fucking
easy. I
about?
don't know why you're yelling. I'm just talking to you, bro.
I'm not yelling.
Yeah,
say,
you are though. I don't know why you're yelling. I don't know if you have anger issues. Maybe go see a therapist. Okay, but don't yell at me. Okay? Don't
and you
yell
have
at
to
me.
see the news.
No.
No. You are living in this world? You are
Yes, I live in the world. Yeah, what about
She's
you?
living next door to the world. Yeah, she's
Yes.
not
Where
directly
are
living in the world.
Why are you yelling, bro? Are you gonna
I
come to
said
my
to
house
you,
and what are
Iran
you
want
gonna
to
do?
develop a nuclear
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna knock down my house? What are you
you
gonna
are
do?
paranoid.
You think I'm scared of you?
Bro,
Okay, guys, we got to move this conversation forward.
We got.
But I said to you, I answer to you.
He answered.
Yes.
All right, let Eucalyptus translate now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Iran want to develop a nuclear weapon.
But do you have
And
proof
the
for
West
that?
want to avoid this. That's
Okay, we will avoid
That
this.
you,
David.
he's that person. You don't need to argue with him. He's
Oh
already
no, I like to
showed.
make fun of him. I like to make
No,
fun of him.
he's already shown that he's Israelis, so he's gonna make a mockery about you. That saying like Iran, they have a nuclear weapon. Ask him, literally ask him, how many nuclear weapons Israeli do have?
Okay,
And
how
I've
many?
declared.
He's not going to answer that.
How many does Israel have?
Listen. You know, even we have.
Guys,
No,
guys,
you know,
but hold
don't
on,
do that.
guys,
How
guys.
many are there?
Hold on,
this
guys,
planet
guys,
two times.
guys, hold on,
You see-
David, hold on, David. Let Eucalyptus translate what David just said because the audience are. I think I just got messages that the audience think we're talking about Japan and China, after what David said. So can you please tell us what just what he was talking about? I don't want people to think we're talking about Japan because we're not. Go ahead, Eucalyptus.
Yes, no problem, guys. I do offer my services sometimes on TikTok like this. I am a professionally licensed Hebrew translator. And if you guys were listening to David, Never the Shaheed, he said, Madzete bepe, Madzete bepe, michoblim, michoblim. And what this means is he said that Israel is going to NUKE Iran, but Iran should not have NUKEs.
Yeah, because
does that make sense, American?
They don't want Iran to respond.
Yeah, pretty much. You got it there.
Yeah, because they want to NUKE Iran, but they don't want Iran to respond with another
Iran to
NUKE.
have it, yeah.
Yeah, so they can be safe because they have the right to self-defense, but the Iranians and the rest of the world they don't.
Don't have.
Which is like I believe it's the truth.
We never use our nuclear if we have a nuclear.
You
We
do.
never use it also in
You
Yom
do,
Kippur.
you do.
We are responsibility. We can destroy all the Arab country around us and all the Muslims.
You've been bombing everybody around you. Yeah.
Zarama, you couldn't even destroy. You couldn't even destroy Hamas in Gaza. You're gonna. You couldn't even destroy.
Tell me, why you don't mess with South Korea? Why? Why?
What?
I don't have a problem with them.
What do we have to do with them? What did we do?
I don't know why he went all the way to South
Because they
Korea.
have a nuclear weapon.
Bro, he's crashing
Nobody
out.
mess with them.
Everybody
And
get their
now-
popcorn. He's
And
crashing out.
also, if somebody have a nuclear weapon,
Uh-huh.
nobody mess with him. So we don't want to arrive to this that the Iranian we have a nuclear weapon because nobody can mess with the Iranian after. You understand?
Oh,
You're stupid.
So no. You know what? We are stupid because we thought that we don't. Let's take away the nuclear weapon from Iran so we can keep messing with them. You have a point there. You do have a point there. Yes. What
David
a
is sharp.
What a colonial mindset. Yep.
David is sharp, bro. He should speak on the behalf of all Israelis. Like we
You
don't
know,
put him
like
up. He should do an interview with Tucker
the thing
Carlson.
about now.
David,
now
if I reached
for
out to
this,
Tucker Carlson, David, would you do an interview with
yeah,
him?
have you watched
هذيك ما حدا
it?
سألها المشكلة هذيك تبرم لحالها شو اسمه يا هناك
I want everyone to watch and see the alignment of this propaganda is going, and for this moment, as I'm speaking, Millennium going to Gen Zs. This propaganda of fighting with the Iran, it won't be successful because you can see like American, they're so hesitant, and American, they're seeing the real color of this propaganda of Zionists. They're taking the puzzles back and forth. They're looking at. It's not just like now in America, and I'm quoting people here in American. They can quote mid-election. They're looking like who is being paid by AIPAC. Who is by pro-Israelis? Who is being pro-Americans? Whereas before, it hasn't been that way. So as Americans, please, I'm quoting because I'm seeing it from outside in, but people now, they're looking, even here in the UK, we are seeing like people are being tapped, are being compromised.
Dr. Fax, just a moment, Dr. Fax. I'll be right back. I'm going to go stick some chopsticks in my ears. It'll be like 2 minutes. Thank you so much. What were you going to say, America?
It feels like David.
Yeah, I was going to
right now.
say that
Usually
that
has
Americans
a problem, ear infection
working
every
on it.
time David speaks. So I understand you, Eucalyptus. Go ahead.
Yeah, so in response to Annie,
Yeah.
Americans are trying very, very hard. We're waking up. We're waking up. It's happening, but we just wish that it was at a much faster rate. And, of course, to challenge the government and expose them, the fascists, the EP class, and all these people,
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Doctor, I'd just like to say
yeah, go
the
ahead,
third
Pamela.
shelf is full.
the third, yeah,
The third shelf is full.
the third.
We
is
need
full.
to move on to the next one.
Yes, I told them.
Thank you.
Just build the fourth. Khalas, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be a bit higher. Just build the fourth. We're just gonna start using the fourth shelf. Go ahead, guys.
So is David going back to California or is he staying in Tel Aviv?
He's a Tel Avivian?
He's supposed to be
is
an L-
crazy.
an alien. Yeah, David.
Go ahead, Haran. I mean, Bamia did not say anything. Bamia, go ahead, Bamia.
What's up? You think that America cannot think alone.
They can't. They need Israel to think with
Don't
them.
respect America.
They need
America have an interest. The interest of America is to destroy Iran. That's all. Very simple. Because after they have a nuclear weapon, you will see a nuclear weapon on Miami Beach.
David,
You understand this?
David,
You understand?
I understand, David. Hold on, ya Habibi. Hold on. Is it okay if Bamia speaks because it was his turn? I'm just asking you because you're the chosen person. I need to ask the chosen person if it's okay. Is it okay?
Please, David. I'll make good use of your time.
Just give us the okay,
You are the
David.
chosen one. 100 years.
Well, I'm going to take that as a yes from David.
Yeah.
Because Israelis think silence means no. Means yes. So, David, there is actually zero interest for Americans to destroy Iran. There is zero interest for us to actually even support Israel, considering the fact that you guys actually take much of our tax dollars, considering the fact that with the amount of money we gave you, we could have actually solved our homeless crisis, our student debt crisis, the housing crisis, the Flint water issue that exists, the many city issues as well. We spent more money on you guys than actually funding and supporting our own people. When we have people struggling to buy their medications with the collapse of the with a big pharma pack, there's people still struggling to supply their own hospitals, even rural hospitals that don't have money at all to actually fund certain surgeries like breast cancer or IVF or really any type of treatment because they're rural, they don't have that supply. So America actually has zero interest placing you guys any money, any weapons. In fact, it would do us a disservice because why are we trying to supply another country with weapons when we're trying to stay on top? So, David, please, any answers to that? Because, a lot of money goes to you guys. I want to know what's going on with it because you guys apparently get free college and we don't.
Free healthcare.
And free healthcare.
Maternity healthcare. They have
paid maternity
in
leave.
Israel. They even take people from social
Habibi
media
American.
impact to go to have a tour in Israel,
Love you, Handa.
pay tickets and pay accommodations. Whereas American here in the UK, I work my ass off. I'm a nurse. I pay near like a 3,000-4,000 pound on my tax money, and then my child won't be able to pay anything at all in the next 20 years until she able to get a real to be on the accommodation ladder, 20 or 50, if I'm still alive. And then my minister is investing 3 trillions to defend Israel. Israel in really, I just can't comprehend it. It makes me sick. It makes me feel so enraged. My tax money go every single time, and I don't know how to dodge it because it makes me. And then someone like a David come here and it's like, oh yeah, it's just like a. I don't know, man. You need to really need to have comprehensive of knowing, like, we are working for the money. We are working for our lives to be
For the
better.
money, excuse me. In all the West, you are not working for the money. You gave everything from the country. So everything, everything you use the country. Which country you come from? You even don't talk English very good. I am from Israel. I talk better from you. How it's possible? You don't care about the country. You take
Give him
only
to talk.
second
Give him to
decision.
talk.
Also in Europe, also in America, you use the country. See what happened with the Somali woman who used America. You stole money from America. You sent this to Somalia. What you are talking about?
Wow.
Look at you have a.
Look at you. You came from Poland.
the
You and your
camel.
grandfather.
You come from the desert,
Look at-
yeah? You come
Take
from
it,
the
David.
desert.
David,
I
go eat
tell
some
you a
hummus.
sentence, nice sentence.
Go eat some
The
hummus.
camel don't see is the
Don't talk about Annie Williams. Your grandparents came from Poland, and you think you belong to the Levant. You don't belong to the Levant. Okay, buddy, look at your skin, man. You can't even take the sun.
You're the same color as a lobster, David.
Take it.
You look like a lobster.
Yeah, they can't even take the sun.
Haram, don't do my lobsters like this. There's someone.
والله يا ريت بامية يا ريت بامية هيك you stick your hand out وتخلع كف.
And this is the problem. This is the problem, American, because this generation, yes, Bibi Netanyahu. Bibi Netanyahu is gonna die tomorrow, but the generation comes after, you're gonna leave, and then eventually you're gonna have a really bad time to navigate around the world because
are coming from a Muslim
you will
country.
have a problem navigating around the
Go
world.
learn English.
You will have a problem navigating around
Not
the
you,
world
not
because
you.
of
Hold
your
on, hold on,
reputation when
guys.
it comes
Hold
to
on,
it.
hold on. Not you, David, telling her to go learn English.
Yeah,
What's going
yeah,
on?
that's
So,
what he
so,
said.
so you're saying the Somalis are stealing money. So
The
far,
Somali is stealing the money
I-
from
No, he
America.
just called me that I don't speak good English.
Go
I'm
learn
from
English.
Somalia.
Go.
okay.
If I will be in America 2 months, I talk better from you.
Better from you. Better from
Really?
Believe me.
Really?
Listen, I speak French also. Comment ça va?
If you do bear in
I
mind,
speak French, I speak
I
Arabic,
speak
I
fluent
speak
French, I
English.
speak
You
fluent
have a shame you
English.
don't speak English also.
Please, you get to
nice.
hell, man.
You talk about Israel. You don't have a shame?
They will see hell very soon.
Where is your conscience? Where?
Where's yours?
Talking about conscience is crazy.
Tell me about
Where
it.
is your conscience side? Where?
Why are you attacking a woman, man? Is this normal?
Yeah,
for
it's
you to
not. It's
attack a
not
woman?
nice, David. It's not. I know.
No, it's part of their culture.
It's part of your culture, but it's not nice.
I don't
David.
like hypocrite people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, doctor. I don't like hypocrite.
Yeah, I know. You guys are anti-hypocrisy.
They
I
are
know.
all
Because you guys
holy
want to be the
people.
only champions of
chosen
hypocrisy.
ones.
Yeah, the only ones.
We are the
They're only chosen ones. We
ones
should be
because
bow to
God
them.
choose us, and He don't choose you.
He don't choose you. God did not
silly.
choose you. The mushkil. The problem is He did not choose you. The problem is He told you, I chose you to spread.
And the fact is, you need to go and get another tag and say like you are the chosen people because the
Nobody
Genesis.
say.
Listen,
Nobody.
the people already people know.
The God
Already
choose
people
Israel.
know that you are not the fucking
The
chosen.
You can explain me how we come back to Israel against.
I'll tell you how you
Again,
came
I
back.
said,
You
go
stole the
and
land
have
from the
another
indigenous
tag.
people. That's how you came back.
Go and have another tag. In a Bible, you are not even like a tagger.
Don't open your eyes. That's all. Very
Open your
simple.
eyes,
You will
everyone.
open your eyes.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Can you let her finish?
Yeah, let her finish. Shasma. I know,
You are-
David. I know where you're coming from because she's a woman, and in the Torah, women are not allowed to speak. But it's okay. We're going to allow her to speak if after your permission, chosen one. Go ahead, Annie.
No, I said like he can go and look in the Bible because he said like they're the chosen ones. In the Genesis, they are the chosen of Abraham. If you go and look on even the Carson Tucker ask the Prime Minister, I mean diplomat in Israel,
Aywa.
let's do the ancestry DNA. Who is the chosen ones?
Aywa.
And why can't you do it?
They can't because they're from Khazarians.
Exactly.
First,
Thank you.
don't know the
Simple.
information. It was the ambassador of Israel who was talking with this damn tech taker. I will call him tech taker, taker. He talked with him in the airport of Israel. That's all.
Who the fuck is
The
that?
ambassador of Israel.
I think he said Kentucky
You
Fried
understand?
Chicken.
He's not a diplomat. First, you don't have a knowledge also about what we are talking.
Yeah.
Because it was the ambassador of Israel
The
who was
ambassador.
talking with him. Okay? It's not a diplomat. It's an ambassador of Israel from United States to Israel. That's all.
David, your accent is a little thick. Can you fix
So
that?
yes, DNA.
David,
want to prove
I have a question for you, David. Have you ever
need
thought
to
about
prove
teaching
something to
English?
you, to nobody.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about teaching English?
What you say?
Like maybe like as a side
He's
gig,
like, what
like
did
you could teach English
Believe
online
me.
if you make a profile English
Believe
teacher.
me, I
You could
said
teach
to you.
English.
I talk better from this panel. Well,
I agree. You should try teaching English. I think you would do well.
Honestly, David, I would pay for that English class.
Let's see
How many
who.
shekels?
Let's see who Wisdom is. Wisdom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, good day, everybody.
Good
My
day.
name is actually Gary. I am actually from a Jewish family called the Friedlanders, who married into the House of Fraser, actually from London and living in China. First thing I'd like to say is for the Jewish person out there, you cannot go around attacking people the way you are.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to say is, in fact, most of the people in the Middle East are all from the same Abrahamic religions. But here's the thing, why does Israel think that it is the only country in or only place in the Middle East that should be allowed to have nuclear weapons? Why is it that the West, why is it that the West thinks that they are the only people who should be allowed to have nuclear weapons?
okay. Come take the nuclear weapon if we have. Come take. I want to see you. Come take. Come. If you
Okay,
are a
bro.
man,
He's asking
come
you
take
a
our
question.
nuclear weapon if we
Why
have.
do you have
Don't
to?
say we have.
Why
but
do you?
if we
Hold
have,
on.
Come take the nuclear weapon. We
Okay.
explode you.
Okay, hold on, David. He's
Sorry,
asking
can
you.
I ask another question?
They're asking you. He asked you a question, and you want to flex like you're in a ring or something. He's answer the question.
Careful. Don't mess with Israel. Be careful.
Be careful.
Such a wonderful
What you
response.
think? You can do what you want in this planet? You are
That is
million,
such
2 million
excuse me. That is such a wonderful response.
Both
Okay,
have
so,
one vote.
excuse
Can
me.
someone else
excuse
answer?
me.
Can someone else answer, please?
Believe me, we can destroy.
Well, David already answered this question. You know, to be
No,
fair,
because he's just
his English
hostile.
is
He's
pretty
just
good.
answering.
His
Someone
sister
else can
Ani,
answer.
I was trying to speak, Ani. Thank you so much.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
David already answered this question. Okay, he speaks very good English and also very good Hebrew. And you heard him, Dr. Fax. He said, Iran cannot have a nuke because if they do, they cannot mess with them after. Do you remember that? That happened 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Iran is not responsibility. Don't have responsibility, Iran. Iran, it's a crazy people. Muslim, fanat, Shia people. You want...
Let him speak, guys. Let him speak. It's okay. It's okay. Let him crash out. Let him crash out. It's just funny. It's just
They will
funny.
destroy the planet.
Where did the American go? Did he go to sleep? Yeah. So, David, so Iran is imagine crazy people calling out other countries and calling them crazy. It's just hilarious, guys. Well, that's hilarious.
Listen, you know South Korea?
South Korea.
Somebody
He went back
mess
to South
with
Korea.
Kim Jong-il. Somebody mess with Chung Il. Nobody mess with him.
Nobody.
How his name? I don't know. Ching Jun-il or Ching Jun-an. I don't remember. But nobody mess with South Korea. Nobody. They have only 10 weapons, 10 nuclear weapons. Nobody mess with them. You want a situation like this in Iran?
Excuse me.
Or in Saudi Arabia?
Excuse me. If you want only the West to have such capabilities, why is it that you are not going to attack people like, I don't know, let's say North Korea, China, Russia?
They wiped them out.
Japan?
Listen,
they're wiping out, Gary. That's why.
Also, the West, including China, the West,
China,
China, Russia, Putin also, Russia, every place that is normal is not Muslim. Every place is not.
Wisdom, I got a question for you, Wisdom.
Against the Muslim.
You said you're a...
They're crazy.
This is a problem with you as Israelis. It
Okay,
doesn't
guys,
seem
guys,
like it's a
allow,
war
guys,
to.
guys, guys,
You don't have no objective of this war. You
guys.
don't have no objective.
Am I on
You
mute,
are
guys?
just.
Am I on mute or something?
Annie, chill out, Annie. Chill
Yeah,
out,
guys,
sister.
guys.
No, host, I
Let's
can hear you,
do
host.
one
You're
one
not
by
on
one,
mute.
guys. One by one. Let Eucalyptus ask the question.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Every time I go to speak, Annie speaks louder. Jesus
Sorry.
Christ. Apology not accepted, sister. Wisdom.
Apology not accepted. That's crazy.
I got a question for you, Wisdom. You said you're a European Jew living in China. Is this correct?
That's correct, yes.
How did that happen?
It's a long story, a very long story.
Make it one sentence. Make it two sentences.
Okay, I was born to a Jewish family. Okay, I married a Chinese woman and I came to live in China.
Easy. Did your family ever try to pull you to go to Israel or join the IDF?
Not me. My mother pulled completely away, as my grandfather also completely pulled away from the family at the end of the day. We ended up having nothing to do with them because we didn't like what was happening in the world. We saw a different situation from other people.
So they were anti-Zionist household.
Yes.
Yeah. See, even from early on, it's easy. There's a group of from within that has decided, you know what, we don't want to go over there and steal people's homes. You know, we're from Europe. You see how easy that is, David? Instead, you chose violence.
Exactly. David, are you still there?
And please,
David, so Shahid.
Actually very proud of what my grandfather did. I'm very proud that he walked away.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what else? American dropped. I think he went to sleep. It's only 2 o'clock. Tomorrow's Sunday.
راح أشخبر.
Old fuck. I'm talking shit.
Okay. Annie, I heard you say that you're in the UK. Is that correct?
Oh yes, yeah. I live in the UK. I've been living in the UK for past 25 years, but I'm from East Africa.
Okay, that's nice. A lot of your tax goes towards funding WARs in other countries that we should have absolutely nothing to do with, because at the end of the day, the only people that suffer in WARs are the innocent people.
Yeah.
Right.
And this past 2-3 years has been going since October 11. It's just been enormous. Social medias, you know, like I don't know for how long you haven't been living in the UK, but in the UK it's been just like so much of change of politics side of view in publics. We are being arrested just to post anything about genocide is happening, what is happening in Palestine, what is happening in America, what is happening here in UK. 98-year-old person has been prosecuted being like a terrorist. So
Right.
all those things is just being like is just overwhelming. And then as American has just left, I was going to ask him because he lives in America. So far, there are 2 MPs are being cut off their office because they've been connected with the Epstein file. So now, like, overwhelming of all this chaos has just been happening, and Epstein's coming into it and make it like, bloody hell, we are being doomed. We all these years we've been played as a fool. We're going to vote, but voting doesn't mean anything at all. It's just a propaganda of like we're putting someone in power And then that person, they've got their own agendas, and those agendas afterward is just like a kind of fire back at us. So it's just like a web of people we put in power, and then it's just coming so vividly into our faces. This one connecting to this one connecting to this one has done this. And we're just being, sorry for asking, saying my word, as like, as a voters, we are being doomed. So in all, I'm not blaming Americans to think that, especially like a Donald Trump, to think that he doesn't have no power to overturn of Iran, because he does have much power.
Right.
But this is only election in midterms, and at this particular time, he's already seen like his administration is going down very, very, very fast. So how there's a word they say like a F off everyone, or I just have to walk away.
Yeah.
Because everything is laid down, is gonna go to prison, and his all legacy is gonna go to hell. Or let me just ruin everyone, because like the Supreme Court overturned is just yesterday. His Supreme Court, they overturned all this all the tariff is been throwing around the world, 10%, 15%, 100%. So it's just very, very fragile. Now he's just like, now I need to go either way to F off everyone. I don't care, but I have to go with a big deal to go out with it. So the Americans, same as NATO, they've got so much to deal with. Even myself, for now, I'm just like, I need to go back to Africa.
Plane so we can give other people a chance to speak
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that's my point.
No problem. Thank you. Who wants to respond to Annie?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ramadan Kareem.
Amen.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, yeah,
So do you know how to count backward? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It's going to happen soon, man. It's going to happen soon. America going to engage Iran, and that will be the end of all wars, man, in the Middle East, and everything going to be fine as shit. Fucking paradise.
You
when
think
the
so?
IRGC fall, yes, I am.
I don't
There's
think
not
so.
going to be any excuses then.
Host my own
When the IRGC fall, listen, when the IRGC fall, there's not going to be more excuses. So we were looking forward to that.
Okay.
No matter what
do you miss
think
it?
about us, it's not
Bugsy,
it's
do
not
you miss
about,
it?
It's not about you. What?
Do you miss it? Do you miss the 12-day exchange?
The 12-day exchange?
Yeah, remember they were playing the Israeli national anthem on the speakers all over the streets? You remember it?
Yeah. When we controlling their airspace, it's okay. This is how we're defending our people, man. How do we know there is a missile? Don't be stupid,
You miss it though, huh?
1 second.
You're like, I can't wait again.
No,
Start
I'm
again.
saying,
Start
when
it up.
When there is an hurricane or a tsunami, there's no sound alarm to protect the people. It's the same way with missile. When we hear
Tsunami
the
is natural.
missile,
It's a
we
natural
go.
disaster.
No, again, it doesn't matter. But still, we have something to. They have something to alert the people with, right?
But
So
why
this is how we
but
defend
why
our
are you
people.
waiting so long, Bugsy? Why don't you just strike now?
No.
Without America,
What do
they
you mean
can't.
no?
No. Eucalyptus, let's be real. Israel
let me
can't take
remind
on
you that
Israel.
we
Hold on,
attacking
Bugsy.
Whoa. Let me
Israel can't take on Iran on their own. If America does not help them, Israel will be wiped out in no time, and that's something
What
that
happened in Israel,
nobody
please?
can
What happened in
argue
Israel,
about.
please?
Because if they can, they would attack Iran without the okay of America.
Tell me,
That's
what happened in the 12 days?
the 12 days.
What happened in the
Even
12
your own
days?
official says you guys got fucked up in the 12 days. What are you talking about?
We got what? We got
You guys,
what?
yeah, you guys got destroyed in 12 days. Even when you guys asked,
What the fuck are you talking
bro,
about? Where did you
you
say
asked
that?
me. Let me answer the
Duh.
question.
Yeah.
Why?
Let me answer the question. Yeah, let me
Imagine
answer the
facts.
question. Yeah,
Imagine
let
just
me-
just
they-
imagine this for a second. Facts. Bugsy is standing in front of the Weizmann Institute. Okay, this is
But why
in the
you
middle
lie?
of Tel Aviv. This is a
Why
scientific
you lie?
research facility. The whole thing is demolished, and Bugsy's in front of it going, "What
Again,
happened? What
but
happened?
what
Nothing happened.
Okay,
What
let
happened
me
in the 12 days?"
let me ask a question. Let me ask me a question. Did Israel ask America to go for the ceasefire? They proposed a ceasefire to America, and America proposed it to Iran. Yes or no?
No.
Yes, they did. Israel asked America for a ceasefire, and Iran said, "You guys preemptively attacked us, and
No.
now."
After.
No,
Can I
let me
prove
let
it?
me
Can
let
I
me
prove
finish,
it?
guys.
You
I don't know
asked
why
me,
you guys are interrupting me. Let me finish.
but you asked me a question,
No,
man.
I'm
What's
not
wrong
done
with
yet.
you?
I said Israel asked America to cease fire with Iran after the 12-day war, and Iran responded saying, "Oh, I thought we were going for we were ready to go for 3 to 4 months. Why did they preemptively attack us? And now when we clap back, now they want a ceasefire." They said they're the ones who started the war. They preemptively attacked Iran, and now they're asking for a ceasefire. So make that make sense.
Okay. So can I respond without being interrupted?
Go
First
ahead,
of all,
respond.
you're lying that Israel actually pushing for a ceasefire because there is one proof, and that's the thing that Donald Trump said. 1 hour after the ceasefire was signed, Israeli actually sent another pack of aircraft to bomb Iran, and Donald Trump was so mad about it that he actually say the F word towards Benjamin Netanyahu. And now we know the Iranian, right? You think that if we engage first, surprise attack them, and we the one who actually looking for a ceasefire, you think that the Iranian will do it? Fuck no, the Iranian lost in the 12-day war. The thing is, we actually given an open way. We given an open way for the B-52 bombers to go to Fordow. Okay, that's the only involvement of the American. Because if we have the same missile, the mother of all bombs, we didn't need the American. Now, but the thing is, they started chain reaction. They didn't want to. Now Iran is surrounded, and it's the clock is ticking, and it's going to be sooner or later, man. And again, if Israel have to be struck by some ballistic missile, God will be with us. God will help us. This is war, man. It's long overdue. I'm willing to put my family in a bunker or in a shelter for 5 or 3 or 4 months. I don't give a shit. As long as I know that the Iranian regime will fall down. And this is how we do it in Israel. We're very practiced. Don't you worry about us. We know how to protect ourselves. We've been doing this shit for a long time. That's
Yeah,
okay. At the end, we will be the only one who's standing. You know that.
Okay. So everything you
Like
said.
you
Yeah.
stood up, like you stood
Guys,
up in
if anyone
Syria, like
interrupts
you
me
stood
again,
up.
I will start dropping people. Let me just make this clear. When Trump proposed the ceasefire, it was agreed. Israel agreed to it because Israel wanted the ceasefire, and again. Trump did say F, he used the F word and he started cussing and whatnot because it was upon agreement between Israel and USA, according to Trump, that they wanted the ceasefire. And Iran, they were negotiating with Iran with the ceasefire. And he said, after we were done negotiations, why would they attack and strike Iran while after the negotiations? Because it was them who asked for the ceasefire. And he's like, once I actually convinced Iran for the ceasefire, because Iran said we're ready to go for the next 3-4 months. Why are they asking for a ceasefire?
You know
So
what?
after they
You know
agreed,
what? You
I
can
didn't interrupt you. After they agreed to the ceasefire, Israel strikes Iran, and that's what pissed off Trump, because
Why we
convinced Iran
No,
to
because
for
they
to the
said
ceasefire. He convinced Iran. I don't know why you're.
and
I don't know
they
why you're interrupting me, bro. I don't like. I gave the man a chance to speak, but they get triggered from the truth. USA, Israel is under USA. So whatever USA says, they do. So don't make it seem like, USA just came out of nowhere and said, we want a ceasefire, but Israel said, no, we want to go to war. No. USA convinced Iran with the ceasefire. Iran responded and said, we are ready for 3 to 4 months war. Why would you preemptively attack us and ask us for a ceasefire now? Trump said Israel agreed with the ceasefire. Yeah, it's not true. It's fucking all over media, bro. Like, are you guys that fucking slow? And then after he convinces Iran for a ceasefire, Israel attacks Iran. That's why Trump was fucking pissed. Like, you guys say it's not true. It's not true. Look it up. Look it up. Jeez, it's 2026. Look it up. Y'all acting like you live under a fucking rock. Like, it's like if they deny that shit is going to make it true. It's all over the fucking media. Media outlets talked about it. Iran fucking released a statement about it. What are you guys denying? What are you guys denying? Are you guys denying media outlets? Debunk it. None of you responded to what Iran said after they made that statement. None of you responded to Trump saying that we convinced Iran for ceasefire, and then after we agreed, Israel attacks Iran. Because Israel was the one who asked USA to propose the ceasefire. Acting like, they had no idea. Just USA came out of nowhere. Why did USA attack their nuclear sites? Because they were clapping the fuck out of you. That's why. Like, how dumb can you guys be? Why did the USA attack their nuclear sites? Because they were getting fucked up in Tel Aviv. Like, geez. Like, you can't be that fucking blind. And that's what they do. All they do is like the laughing emojis. You know these laughing emojis, and they start laughing like everybody is stupid? They were called out on that. Because they can't. It's exactly, Google it. Oh, America and Qatar came with it, and Israel had nothing to do with it. So all of a sudden, Israel has nothing to do with America. Israel has nothing to do with America, guys. It was America and Iran that agreed and said, let's do a ceasefire. But Israel did not cry to America for a ceasefire. Yeah, Israel did not cry for America for a ceasefire. They did not cry to America that America had to bomb their Iranian nuclear sites. No, because Israel was winning. You know, they were winning so good. They were destroying Iran that America had to even get involved. If Israel was winning, why would America get involved? Simple. If you guys are such a powerful country, why would America why would America get involved? Why would America and Qatar sit and talk and negotiate a ceasefire with Iran while Iran is telling them we're ready to go for the next 3-4 months? Why? Yes, I know I'm brainless. I have 2 brain cells, Bugsy. Why? Tell us why. Tell us. Tell our dumbasses why. We're all dumb fucks over here. You guys are the smartest motherfuckers on earth. Tell us why. Why We're all the 67.9. And you guys are all the 150 IQ. Why? Why did Qatar and America sit and negotiate with Iran for a ceasefire? Why? Tell us why. Tell us. Jannanuni Lulu Wallah. They were exactly, Wallah, they're all crazy. Jannanuna. Like, what is wrong with these people? It's like America was the one who proposed the partition. I mean, proposed the ceasefire deal or plan. Yeah, so America is what? Like, they support China right now, or they support Iran, or they support Qatar, or they are Israel's their number one ally. When they saw that their number one ally is getting the shit clapped out of their cheeks, they attacked Iran's nuclear sites. And then when they saw that Iran is not giving up after they attacked Iran's nuclear sites, what did they do? They said, oh, listen, Israel was crying. It's like, oh, look, they're fucking us up. You saw the videos. Oh, look, they're fucking us up. That's when Iran released a statement. Said, we're ready to go for the next 3-4 months. Israel's asking for a ceasefire after they preemptively attacked us, thinking that we are the Arab countries that are not going to clap back. But we did clap back, and they were shocked. Even their Ministry of Defense said, we had no idea that Iran will do what they did to Israel in the 12-day war. That's according to their sources, not our sources, not Irani sources, none of that. So you guys are full of shit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because it's getting late here. I have to do a few things. If we begged for a ceasefire, why did we send planes the next day over a single miss? Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys are such fucking lunatics. Wallah. Give me a call, the specific quote. No, go look for it, Ya Khutizi. Go look for it. Go look for it, Ya Habibi. Go look for it. Yalla, guys. Thank you for coming up. It was a great live, guys. Inshallah, we'll be back at it tomorrow. We will be back at it tomorrow, y'all. Yalla, salam alaikum.
Warrior's blood, a god, I can feel it. Knockout, I'm coming in, y'all better fear it.